Welcome to another episode. In this episode, I will be sharing with you rights of women in divorce. Oftentimes, we see a situation whereby a man is walking out of a marriage and he wants to make the woman to suffer for it. Example is a situation whereby the man is trying to take full custody of the children. I watched a video on the Instagram where a woman was crying, saying her husband traveled, relocated to another country with the children of the marriage without her consent. Only God knows how he was able to do that without taking the consent of the woman. But we need to understand that some of these things happen, and what are your rights as a woman who wants to file for divorce or who is currently in the middle of a divorce. By the way, my name is Mary and welcome to my YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel, I share a lot of educative content. I am a practicing lawyer in Nigeria. Okay, so let's just dive into it. Everything I'll be saying in this video, it is not any form of legal advice. It is just for educational purposes. So you still need to go and meet your lawyer who can advise you properly. Also, all the rights in this video, they are not automatic. You need to prove to the court that you deserve this. You need to prove to the court, you need to bring evidence. You need to be whether a witness, documentary evidence, or you yourself have to enter the witness box and make the court understand that you deserve all of this right or some of this right. Okay, so let's dive into it. The first thing is you have a right to fair and equitable division of matrimonial properties. So matrimonial properties, majorly, court often refer to any property that the man and the woman acquire during the pendency of the marriage, when things are still going on well between the couple. So anything they acquire during that period, oftentimes the court sees that as matrimonial property. So you have the right to have a fair and equitable interest in that property, and by so doing you need to prove to the court that you contributed to the acquisition of that thing. Probably it's a car, it's a land, it's shares, whatever it could be. You need to prove to the court that you contributed one way or the other. This could be by financial support, or probably I made mention of a scenario like that in one of my videos, a situation whereby a couple, they came together, the man put down some funds to get a school, to get a building to be used for a school. The woman pulled out of her own job to manage that school, even though she did not support financially, but she was there when the pupils were just probably 2 and the school grew to a large number of students. Okay, so in that situation the court also interpreted that she has supported, and when the parties were going separate ways, the court was able to give her something that is fair and equitable. So when we say fair and equitable, we are not talking about a 50-50 of the thing. It all depends on how you prove to the court that you deserve some of these things without, and that is what the court will put into consideration. So when you hear fair and equitable, it just means that something that will be good to you and good for you and good for the man. So nobody will feel, oh, this judge is being biased, or some level of biasness is being put into place. Second right I'll be talking about is right to peaceful custody of the children of the marriage. So when there are children of the marriage during divorce, the court is going to make definitely decision. The court is going to hear facts, is going to determine who should have custody of these children. But do not forget that there is no way the other party will not have access, except of course if the other party, I mean the respondent, if you are the woman filing for divorce, so the man is the other party. So a situation whereby women will feel, oh, I don't want him to be in the life of this children, it is not possible. Okay, you will definitely have access, except the situation whereby there is some level of mental disorder, or the person is not of unsound mind. I think that is the best word. If the person is not of sound mind, or the man has some behavior, some acts like probably drinking, some lifestyle that you feel this child must not emulate. If the other party, the respondent, have access to that child, there is no way, maybe spending a day or two with the respondent, the child might see some of those lifestyle, and no one will want a child to emulate such. So those are just a few examples when the court will not want to grant access to the other party. But you as a woman undergoing divorce, or you're thinking about it, you will definitely have a right to peaceful custody of your children. It all depends. Custody, there are different types of custody. I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. Okay, so if the court is giving you full custody while the other party will be having access, it is possible that the court will also give you access and give the other person full custody. It all depends on the facts of the case. The court is going to determine who should have full access based on the interest of the child. The gender of the child will be considered, the age of the child will be considered. The most important thing that the court will also consider is who has the best interest of that child. Is it the father that will be very responsible and available for that child, or the mother? In a situation whereby you as a woman, you'll be so busy, probably you don't even reside in Nigeria, you're always going and coming, the court will see that you are not physically available. Even though you might have the funds, the court might want to give full access to the other person, while you have full custody to the other person, while you have access. But the point is, whether you're having full custody or access, it has to be peaceful. There are a lot of scenarios when parties do have loggerheads or fight over issue of custody of children. The court will definitely make an arrangement to that by giving full custody, like I mentioned, and the other party may have access during holidays, weekends, long holidays or Easter break and things like that. So in a situation whereby you have the full custody or you have the access to those children, and the other party is interfering during that period where you have access to those children, or the other party just took the children from you for the holiday and he never returned them, you have the right to file for contempt of court, which is a criminal offense, and that person will definitely, if being found guilty, will definitely be punished for it. So what I'm trying to say, the essence is that you have the right for custody, you have the right to have custody of your children, and it has to be a peaceful one. If the other party is interfering and disturbing you, you have the right to proceed to court to get contempt of court, that is contempt of the court order. Third point is child support. Both the Matrimonial Causes Act, which is the law that regulates matrimonial matters, divorce and things like that, and also the Child's Right Act. Both acts stipulate that parents need to be responsible for their words, for their children. So the fact that fathers are going separate ways does not mean that that man will not be responsible. Like I said, everything that relates to the child will be determined in court. The court will give verdict, to give judgment as to who should have custody, and the amount the man or the woman should be paying for school fees, for accommodation and things like that. So if that man is not forthcoming, doesn't want to pay, like I said in the previous point, you can file for contempt of court. So you have a right as a woman to get child support. So you shouldn't do this responsibility alone. Yesterday we have a brief of that nature. There's confidentiality in our profession, and as such I can't divulge a fact of the brief of yesterday. Sometimes we see men when things are not going well in the marriage again, and I just want to dump the responsibility. Not all men actually. They want to dump all the responsibility of the woman, with the opinion that later in the future the child will still definitely come to look for them. Fine, that may happen, or that also happen, but you need to understand that you have the right to get child support. Okay, so even if your marriage is a customary marriage, that is that there is no statutory marriage, there's no court marriage, everything that was just done is traditional marriage, you still have the right for that. Okay, you can always proceed to the customary court or to the family court. There are courts that are called family courts. Even though your marriage is not legally recognized, it is legally recognized, but it is not under this, it is not the statutory marriage, but you can still proceed to court for the court to give a verdict as related to that child support. And if the man is not, after the court has given a decision, has made a decision as to the child support, and if the man is not forthcoming, you can file for contempt of court. What you need to do is just to reach out to your lawyer. Your lawyer know what to file. Okay, so the last but not the least is rights to remarry. This is very, I think many people are aware of this, that once the marriage is being dissolved, they have the right to remarry. But please do not forget that when the marriage is being dissolved, if it's a statutory marriage, you need to wait for a period of 90 days before you can remarry, and that is when the decree nihil will become absolute. In my next video, probably I would have posted the video before now, I will also make a very brief explanation as to decree nihil and decree absolute, which are the orders that the courts make when a marriage is being terminated, or that is not the right word, when a marriage is being dissolved. Thank you so much. I hope this video educates you. If you have any question, my email address will be in the description box, and you can as well drop a comment in the comment section. Thank you, and I will see you in my next one.